Hello and welcome to the Digital Afterlife of Grief. I'm your host Ginger Lou. A lot of things have been going on with AI, as there always is. I will be back on theme in the next one and two podcasts when I'll be looking at Seance, which is a grief app, and also Pi, which is a conversational bot, which I find absolutely amazing. But I will share all that with you in a later podcast. This podcast is about Hollywood strikes against AI and residuals, and the Black Mirror and how apt that new episode was, if you saw the latest series. But AI poses an existential threat to the entertainment industry as we know it, and it's entirely justified for the WGA, that's the Writers Guild of America, to demand control over its usage. Networks and studios have a troubling history of adopting new technologies. In 2008, studios commanded a $16.9 billion market in DVDs and home videos, but their lack of understanding and adaptation to streaming technology caused an 86% loss within the first decade. That's a whopper. Change happens rapidly in the entertainment sector, with sound movies replacing silent films way back in the last century, and television superseding network radio. The rise of streaming, which really happened a lot during COVID, has significantly impacted artists' income and studio financing, wiping out billions in revenue. Throughout these technological transitions, studios have historically pursued a scorched earth policy, leaving entire generations of artists and technicians, along with the culture they created, behind. While these actions sustained the companies themselves, they came at the expense of others. In the ongoing technological reversal, where streamers are displacing the established studio infrastructure, one notable casualty has been the mid-budget movie. This level of funding allowed filmmakers to make a living and empowered studios to take risks and discover new audiences, all made possible by the safety net of DVD sales. You remember DVDs? Joan is Awful is the latest episode from the Netflix sci-fi series Black Mirror. Guys, gals, if you haven't seen the Black Mirror series, I was a little bit behind on this. I'd only watched the odd episode, but I binged it all after I watched the latest series, which starts with this episode, Joan is Awful. It is an amazing series, and it is really on trend, as it were. It's really, about how we humans are interacting with technology, and it's so go and watch it. But Joan is Awful is the first episode in the series. It's and shows a dystopian world where Joan, played by Schitt's Creek's Annie Murphy, has her life portrayed by actress Salma Hayek on a streaming platform for entertainment. The characters are played by artificial intelligence, but the human protagonists don't have any legal rights to how their image is presented, and they even receive little compensation or none at all. This is exactly what the writers' strike is on about, and the actors' strike too. So with the Writers Guild of America strike voicing similar concerns in May about AI replacing script writers, and worried creatives like actors also stepping into the debate about AI taking jobs, Black Mirror is more reality TV than sci-fi. Throughout the 6th series of Black Mirror, writer Charlie Brooker has explored the potential consequences of technology on society. Joan is Awful couldn't be more topical and feeds into the zeitgeist that machines can replace humans in all employment sectors like entertainment, including replacing human actors. In a recent interview with actor Annie Murphy, she said that she understood the concerns writers have about AI, and this is what she said. She said, it's not just writers being whiny, it's them saying, can we not be replaced by computers? And that's such a scary thing for human beings to have to ask. The use of deepfake technology to create the likeness of actors like Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves and Salma Hayek has raised concerns about the ownership of digital images. The Actors Union, SAG-AFTRA, is pushing for safeguards with Hollywood studios to protect the rights of actors' intellectual property and their audio-visual likeness. Some of the biggest films, like Avatar, have used computer-generated imagery, CGI, alongside actors wearing motion capture suits to create body doubles. Tom Hanks in The Polar Express played multiple AI-generated characters way back in 2004, but in 20 years, the technology has advanced to a point where actors are no longer needed for the CGI, and that's worrying because voiceover actors can also be recreated by generative AI. It's not A-listers who will be affected by this because Hollywood needs names to sell films and TV shows. It's the working actors who will be replaced, and where do they go from here? While actor Harrison Ford has praised AI technology in his latest film, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which I haven't seen yet, but I'm probably going to go and see in the next couple of weeks. When it's helpful, he says, I'm happy to have it. Which he said in an interview with CNN's Chris Wallace about the film's AI de-aging process. In contrast, Samuel L. Jackson said in an interview for Rolling Stone, future actors should do what I always do when I get a contract, he says. And it's the words in perpetuity, say it twice so you can say it properly, and known and unknown on it. I cross that shit out, he says. So from de-aging actors to recreate... Oh, before I go on with that, I'm sure, not to put down Samuel L. Jackson personally, but come on. I am sure that if he was offered $1 gazillion for his AI image to be used, but while he was alive, I'm sure he will do it. Okay? From de-aging actors to recreating the voices of deceased performers, Hollywood studios are increasingly relying on AI tools to enhance their productions. This has created unrest about the rights and compensation of artists. As the Screen Actors Guild, or SAG, prepares for negotiations with Hollywood studios, the issues around consent and ownership are ongoing. The use of generative AI to replace an actor's image, likeness, or voice without their consent or compensation is a big concern. SAG aims to protect performers' rights by incorporating informed consent clauses in future contracts. This would require disclosure and compensation for certain AI users based on the performer's likeness and performance. In May, SAG-AFTRA reached an overwhelming majority of its members, nearly 98% of the union's 65,000 members, to vote for strike action and cited job insecurity amidst fears that AI could replace humans in acting roles. The move reflects the escalating concerns within the entertainment industry over the use of generative AI and its potential impact on actors and writers. Critics have pointed out that the Hollywood Actors Union decision to strike has been viewed by some as a virtue-signaling exercise, as writers are expected to be the most affected by the use of generative AI technology. The recent strike by the WGA, where 11,500 members participated, highlighted issues with the use of AI in the writing process. Writers demanded new regulations governing the use of AI in film and television writing during ongoing contract negotiations with major studios. Unlike actors, writers face different challenges when it comes to AI infringement. While they can seek compensation if their work is deemed a reproduction or derivative, this becomes increasingly difficult when AI systems have learned from the vast number of scripts on the internet. Consequently, writers struggle to protect their intellectual property rights when their work is scraped by large language models. Of course, this is happening to artists all the time, and I've written about it and podcast about copyright for artists, and some new laws are coming into place, and I'm sure this will happen for actors and writers too, but also we're talking about big corporations, so they're gonna for sure, they're not going to be looking out for the worker. They're going to be looking out for, saving a few bucks. So it is going to be an ongoing tussle for sure. AI systems like ChatGPT can produce filmable scenes based on simple prompts, which could reduce the need of traditional writers in genres such as police, procedurals, and sitcoms. Voice actors, especially those not known for on-camera performers, are also at risk. Voice cloning technology has advanced significantly, enabling the replication of any voice, further endangering the livelihoods of voice actors. So how can artists' work be protected? That's an open question right now because everything is all on the table, and the writers' strike is on. Some actors are actually saying this. The actors and writers' strike will go on for 6 months, which is there's a kind of irony in all of this, because while they go on strike and nothing gets made, then the bosses are going to be looking at alternatives to fill the gaps. So it's going to bring in AI even faster. That's the irony of the whole thing. Anyway, contracts often contain restrictions against the use of an actor's name, likeness, or performance in any work other than the one by which they were hired. However, lawyers fear that AI-generated performances could be used to train AI models, violating these restrictions. Reframing AI works as a collaboration of a number of artists is crucial to protecting performers' rights. Now, of course, A-list artists can afford the big buck lawyers, but the everyday working actor and writer cannot afford to do this. So this is going to be a class action, which is already happening between with the comedian Sarah Silverman is actually suing chatbot GBT because she believes that her writing has been scraped and used as for training. A primary concern for creators is ensuring that fair compensation for the original artwork, as well as any subsequent AI creations that stem from it. Issues surrounding ownership and the original DNA of the work need to be addressed to benefit both the industry and artists. As the use of original art expands, opportunities for each creative work increase exponentially. Similar to the way musicians receive royalties for sampled or mashed up music, accurate attribution is crucial for artists to receive a percentage of any transaction based on their contribution to the final artwork. AI isn't all bad, and used properly as a collaborative tool, it can enhance workflow. Writers can employ predictive learning tools to enhance the work and reach wider audiences. Filmmakers can do that as well. I was recently in my documentary group in New York, and it was a great little presentation actually from a couple of directors, documentary directors, and such positiveness about using AI to use as a collaborative tool in making documentaries. If filmmakers, writers are using it, and we're talking about real indie, the documentary makers who don't have any money really, they're using it as a support thing to help, because don't forget, it's the little guys and girls who don't have the money to, test things out and all the rest of it. So, it can be used as a collaborative tool for ideas, all kinds of stuff. So by analysing key story elements like characters, settings, plots and themes, AI can give suggestions to improve or tailor content for specific audience types. This approach allows creators to dedicate more time to writing and create content. AI technologies, creators and artists can streamline workflow and expand reach. Machine learning can alleviate repetitive tasks. Predictive learning can enhance storytelling. Proper attribution can ensure fair compensation. And AI-driven fan engagement can create unique experiences. Gosh, I hope it doesn't lose creativity. Anyway, the growing use of AI in the entertainment industry poses complex challenges for performers and writers, balancing the rights and compensation of artists while ensuring economic fairness and is crucial. The Screen Actors Guild's push for informed consent and fair compensation for AI-generated performances reflect the need to address these concerns. As the industry evolves, discussions and negotiations between unions, studios and artists will shape the future of AI's role in Hollywood, aiming to find a balance between innovation. What we know is that AI is here to stay, but just like talking movies obliterated the silent movie area, the industry evolved and its output was much better for it. So basically, there are going to be job losses. There just are going to be job losses. People are going to have to retrain. People are retraining as we speak. But also some of the technology will fall by the wayside. And also some stuff will go back to old school stuff, like using real people. So this is why, it has to be used as a collaborative tool. Those, I believe, that don't have much experience doing it, I'm going to call it the old-fashioned way, but it really isn't. But say pre-AI way, those who don't have much experience doing stuff that way will use these AI tools because they need the help, and you'll know it as well. I mean, you can find content out there on blogs that is, it's boring, it doesn't have an opinion, it's possibly written by AI. You know, it's generic stuff. Humans have feelings. We have emotions. Yes, I'm sure there's going to be some AI out there that's going to mimic that. But hey, this is stuff that I'm going to talk about in my next podcast, which I'm going to do in the not so distant future, about my experimenting with these chatbots, because I have found them actually to be of some help to me. Some of them have not been very, very helpful. So I am signing off on this one. Hope you enjoyed it. I will speak to you soon.